We have a doubleheader breakdown, and yes, that is Generator and Buster Blader. Alright, to the 34% of you that have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button, smash it so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. We have your breakdown for the Strong Championship Series to start here, and this is by far one of the most interesting events that I have had the chance to see, because Generator won this event, and I'm still a little bit like, huh? We also have a Buster Blader Fallen of Albaz deck. Now, this actually is kind of interesting because I haven't seen a lot of people explore the option of wanting to play those two in combination with each other. So for those of you that are looking around for new ideas, I think this Buster Blader deck is definitely going to be something that you're going to want to check out in terms of just like the spice. Then of course we have Sprite. I'm not really too much of a stranger to seeing that deck still doing well out here. And then we also have a Purely deck as well. Purely's kind of turned out to be like the new sauce in the OCG. We've made a lot of Purely videos, and I have no reason to stop. It's definitely been really cool. We're going to pass on over to these top deck lists. Winning the event here is, I mean, no stranger, is Generator, like we just said. So what's interesting about this list? I see that we are playing triple of the new one from Cyberstorm Access. You are getting a chance, well, actually, it's not from Cyberstorm, you know what I mean. Basically, Rank 9 Turbo. I see that we are playing the Good World Legacy card to extend on out all of our friends. I mean, most of your named cards are going to be straightforward. The thing that always gets me about this deck is, like, this deck always feels like a giant brickaroo at the end of the day. But more and more people are having success out here with this, so it's always interesting to see what is working out here, what ideas that players are bringing to the table here, and really what is the success factor for these ideas. And like I said, you know, this should open up the door out here to kind of showcase, hey, you know, generators can do stuff. All right, as long as they can go first, have some sort of a good game plan, you should be able to, you know, do something at the end of the day. And that's what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really about, is smashing the competition. So good stuff to Generator. Now, up here is our Buster Blader Fallen of Albaz deck. Now, this is very interesting to me. I never really thought about combining Fallen of Albaz with Buster Blader good stuff. It really wasn't like much of a thought in my head, but the fact that these two decks look like that you can merge them together, I mean, and get some actual advantage is pretty cool. I mean, also, I mean, the fact that you get 6 trap cards, that basically, technically 7 trap cards, that give you the ability to go, you know, full fusion combo on your opponent, it is definitely worth looking at here and giving this some consideration. So if you're a huge fan of, you know, the possibility of being able to pull off a legit Buster lock on your opponent, this is going to be the idea for you. I'd love to see something like this actually be adapted to the TCG much later on in its life, just on the fact that, you know, you have such good defensive lines here for a deck like this to kind of be able to function. So, all right, you do love to see it. Next up here is, well, our dear friends over at the Standard Metagame Department. Hi, by Steel Synchro. With our Sprite package, how are you? I do love the fact that, I've said this in a lot of videos here, but I've loved the fact that your Sprite stuff gets to kind of act in ways that were unintended for this deck. Also, I mean, the little Apple Dragon being able to just be a crazy powerhouse really has set this deck down a curve that I didn't necessarily think that we would see. We are citing double Eradicator Epidemic Virus. I have not seen a lot of Eradicator Epidemic Viruses actually kind of doing things at the moment. I think that that's kind of a little bit of a nice fresh of breath air here, that you can kind of see some differences in things being presented here in a deck like this, different tech choices and so forth. I wish we could abuse, you know, the craziness that is Chaos Road, but I think Chaos Angel will be a very, very crazy powerful card when we actually do get it here. And then our last list for this event is none other than Purely. Now keep in mind, 95% of the OCG metagame has pretty much cut, actually I think it's 100% because I haven't seen a list that's playing 3 of the basic Purely monster. Most of them are all maximizing on the new one. The new one really has opened up so many good doors down here. Now I see that we're also side decking Mask of Restrict. What are we doing here? That's it's actually kind of a cute one. I like the chance we are seeing something a little bit different down here in terms of your side decking options. I mean, depending on how your metagame is going, being able to, stop your opponent from the possibility of making a big threat to you on the field, and then you can deploy this and just go, hey, like, not much you can do. I see we're citing a very mini, Shizu package, some dimensional fissures. A lot of coolness going on with this list. So I like what we're aiming to do here. Now we're going to pass on over to the Saiyan Championship breakdown for it. Now this breakdown is very, very cool. Obviously, I mean, you have a Bi-Steel Synchro deck present here, but this one is going to put a little bit different spin on things. We're going to be using the Punk package in this one. Now, speaking of Punk, we also had a Punk Thurion deck. When was the last time that you saw Punk Thurion actually doing anything out here? I'll wait. Wait, the answer is you don't? Well, that's because it doesn't come up all that much. It's one of those very, very interesting little interactions that a lot of people just kind of discount and kind of toss aside. So I just wanted to mention that. I think that's kind of cool and interesting to what's going on here. And then we have a Kashtira deck. Pretty standard stuff. And then you have a Sprite Scareclaw deck. Now, interestingly enough, I mean, let's call it what it is at this point. Like, Sprite Scareclaw, with the help of Prisma, has definitely opened up some interesting little doors in the OCG. Let's pass on over to those deck lists now. All right, now winning this event was none other than Bi-Steel Synchro yet again. Yay! But this one's not playing Chaos Angel. This is, we're just accessing Psychic Gem Punisher, some of the other utility cards that are a little bit more generic, I feel like, at the end of the day. The Punk package definitely gives this deck a little bit of an extra push, I feel like, at the end of the day, and it definitely showcases that there are different levels of power present that you can kind of go through here and work. And I mean, for people in the TCG here, like, oh, we know, yeah, I know. Chaos Ruler's still a good card. Chaos Ruler, too busted. Yeah, sorry, this deck is still Chaos Ruler Turbo at the end of the day. Once again, I see those Eradicate Epidemic Virus is being cited down there, and Labyrinth players are screeching at the top of their lungs as they get EV'd and blown out of the game. So very, 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 very interesting little take here as well for this. Now, as we shift on over here to our next Punk deck, now keep in mind that this is Punk Thurion, but we still are playing the Chaos Ruler in here. We're just not doing, harder shenanigans with like all of the tuner outlets that you can normally find yourself going through. No, we're still doing massive power synchro plays, but I would say they're a little bit more fair here. We're doing rank 8 turbo shenanigans here. Obviously, being able to make Captain Sargass is pretty good at the end of the day. Getting the ability to actually hard make that is pretty good. I mean, also getting the ability to turbo out and start putting up, Thurion cards against your opponent, whatever real utility options that you need, you pretty much will be able to get here. And that's absolutely amazing. Outside of that, I don't see anything. I guess the one straight, there can only be one, feels a little bit weird at the end of the day here, but I get what we're going for with playing this. Next up is our, wow, we're back in a time capsule here. I see that we're back to playing the Ascended Thunder for this deck. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, Ascended Thunder does give a little bit extra consistency to this. It's just going to cost you some life points in order to get it out. And because you can play Ascended Thunder, some of your other tech choices, Small World becomes a little bit of an interesting bridge. You do see down here that we are playing Goliath in your extra deck. Goliath, once again, kind of opens up some of those doors for this deck to get the chance to Prosperity it away, go ahead and attach it underneath your big guy. Well, your big guy is a machine, so congratulations. You essentially have walking, talking protection through one of the more gimmicky-esque sides of things here. So it's very cool to see that Kashtira is still floating around out here. Maybe not in the iteration that you think it is, but it's still something at the end of the day here. Now, we also have this deck is very, very cool. I see that we are playing the whole little gimmick of Prisma with a Hero Lives to drop Vice Starfrost out of the deck so that you can basically go ahead and make a Stroud. Now, a Stroud is a pretty good card, all right? Don't get me wrong. Having access to that power play monster for what, like have your life points if you go through Hero Lives, a committed normal summon through a Prisma. It's pretty interesting. I gotta give credit where credit's due here for this deck, because so many cool options have kind of been spinning around because of this that you'd really do like to see it. So what do you guys think about these breakdowns? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.